Hi, welcome to my channel, Forever Transforming. My name is Aurora, and today I wanted to talk about 5 things that I would have liked to have known in the beginning of my spiritual awakening. I'd like to share these with you today in hopes that it might bring you some clarity if you're in the beginning stages of your awakening. Let's get it started. So, first and foremost, what I thought to be the most beneficial piece of information was to only take what resonates with you and to leave the rest. Just because you're following somebody on YouTube or Instagram or whatever other social media platform they might be using to share some spiritual knowledge with you doesn't mean that they are the end-all, be-all, know-all of everything. And that goes for me as well. Just because I'm saying something and sharing my knowledge of my experience in hopes to help you, that doesn't mean that it necessarily is for you. If it rings true to you and you find resonance with it, then by all means take it with you. Use that piece of information or knowledge or advice to help you grow and just blossom on this journey. But if it doesn't resonate with you, and if you're just like, that's not right, or I don't feel like that's right, or I don't think that's right, whatever, if it doesn't feel right, it's not for you. So just leave it. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. On the contrary, it probably rings very true to them in their spiritual path where they're at. But if it doesn't ring true to you, just leave it and move on. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I like to take that with tarot readers as well. Sometimes you'll click on a pick a card reading and you'll pick one, and parts of it might resonate with you and parts of it might not. Just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Simple enough. However, I did not hear this until a couple months into my spiritual awakening, and I kind of felt conflicted when I'd come across somebody who otherwise everything seemed to ring true, but every once in a while they would say something and I'm just like, ugh, I just get that feeling inside that it's just wrong. And for me it was. For them it's probably still rings true, or maybe it doesn't. Things change. So yeah, and that goes with readers as well. Sometimes they come and go, and that kind of leads me into the next thing. If you see me looking down, I have a little notebook so I don't forget anything. So allow that information to flow to you naturally. That doesn't mean that if something piques your interest to not go and research it. Of course, by all means do. It piqued your interest. You were inspired to go look for it. That's one thing. But to just somebody speaks about something, you're like, oh, I should know about that just because that's part of the spiritual community. If it's not inspiring you to go look for it, or if it's not something, a desire within you yourself, then just let it come to you naturally at its own time. Everything in its own divine timing. I found that one day I was inspired to go on YouTube, and I didn't know why, because most of the time I completely forgot about YouTube. I'd try to fix something and people would be like, well, did you try to look at a video on YouTube? And I'd be like, oh no, I totally forgot about that. But one day I just heard this message, go on YouTube, and in my recommended videos there was something that had been referred to me earlier, and I had tried looking it up and it didn't resonate with me at the time. And I saw it pop up again on my recommended videos, and kind of brushed it off at first, and then it showed up like 2 more times, and I was like, alright, fine, I'll look at it. And I did, and I totally got into it, and there was information in that video that was very pertinent to what I was going through at the time, and helped in my spiritual growth. And then I would binge watch like this person, because they just had so much knowledge and I was just soaking all of it up, that I would binge watch their videos, and then all of a sudden it just stopped resonating with me. Not what I had learned from them, but new videos that would come out, or ones that I would look at just because it was on their page. Some of the stuff that they were saying just didn't ring true to me anymore, and I just didn't feel a connection to that person, which is fine. They helped me for that part of my awakening. and then I would find that somebody else would pop up on my feed, and then that would build off of what the previous person that I had binge watched was talking about. It kind of built off what they were saying, and I would just kind of allow this information to naturally flow to me, and again, take what resonated, and I left the rest behind. So there's some people that I completely probably watched almost every single video that they had made, and now they're not even on my feed anymore because I just don't feel a resonance with them, and that's fine. They served their purpose, so to speak, in teaching me what they had to offer, and now it's time for somebody else to teach me. So just allow the information to naturally flow to you, and trust your intuition as to whether or not it's something that's meant for you, or if it's just something that's to show you that it's not meant for you. Third thing that's very important, and you've probably heard of it, but and it's probably stressed the importance of it, but that is meditation. However, what I would have liked to know in the very beginning of my spiritual awakening was that meditation is not just sitting in lotus position and quieting the mind and not thinking about anything. I was fully under the impression that that's what meditation was. I am now aware that meditation comes in all different types of forms. You have standing meditation, walking meditation, laying down, sitting, guided meditations, listening to nothing, listening to nature sounds. Again, listen to your intuition, listen to your soul, listen to what resonates with you. I personally, I don't really like guided meditations. I tend to get distracted and I think about more things, and it's harder for me to kind of just let the thoughts come and go. Whereas listening to beach waves works great for me, and I love it. Or absolutely silence is another one that works really good for me. I can't do lotus position. I have knee issues and lower back issues that won't allow me to sit in that position for a long period of time. So in the beginning of my spiritual awakening, I kind of got frustrated because I thought that that's what you had to do. So look on YouTube. I mean, there's tons of people who talk about meditation and all the different types of meditation. There's books on the subject. Just kind of go with what inspires you and what feels good to you. But meditation is extremely important, at least 5 minutes a day. I mean, we spend more time on our phones playing on social media or games or what have you. Just set away 5 minutes to just meditate daily and see if you notice a difference. I'm almost willing to bet you will. I know I did. So the next thing that I would have liked to have known on my spiritual awakening is the different divination tools and how to use them and how to go about using them. I personally kind of got scared off for a little bit. I came from a somewhat religious background. For a little while there, my mom kind of went on a Christian kick, which, no disrespect whatsoever. If that's your personal preference, that's fine. However, it doesn't really resonate with me. I found that a lot of it kind of pushed the fear aspect on me and being afraid of everything. So that kind of played a part in when I started awakening, all the divination tools and all the scary, oh, don't do this or don't do that, and you have to cleanse it this way and you can't cleanse it that way. I'm here to tell you it's not scary. There is few simple things that I would suggest, like grounding and shielding, which again, you can look up YouTube videos. There's tons of them on both subjects. But it's nothing really to be scared of. If you want to try a pendulum, do it. If you're drawn to tarot cards, do it. There's something, if you're drawn to something and it's something that piques your interest and you get inspired or motivated to do it, just try it, because 9 times out of 10, that's your soul calling for that. It's your inner knowing that there's something there for you that's going to benefit you. Lately, I actually first started out with a pendulum. I had found a pendulum in a store, and this was, in the very beginning stages of my awakening, and I was very drawn to this quartz pendulum, and I didn't really know too much about it, and I even kind of hesitated using it. But at one point in my life, a gentleman who was very gifted had told me that I could use divination tools and that they would work great for me. And he had mentioned pendulum, so I kind of felt drawn to it. And I looked up a book, and I kind of just went with what I felt was right, and it worked. And lately I've been drawn to tarot cards, and I really have been going with my intuition on that, and I find a lot of comfort, joy, happiness, just a lot of good things for me come from doing tarot. So I do it. Just use your intuition, and just don't let people scare you off. Don't let their experiences scare you. Go with what feels right to you. And if you feel like saging your deck of cards, sage away. If you feel like praying over your deck of cards is a better way of cleansing them, pray away. Do whatever feels good to you. There is no set way that has to be done. What I found in the spiritual community is a lot of people will say, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. No, you don't have to do anything. It's free will. You do what feels good to you. And I kind of wish I would have known that from the go. So this is me telling you that spirituality is very unique to you. What feels good to you is what you should be doing. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If their knowledge and their advice and their wisdom feels right to you, then go ahead and use it. But if it doesn't, leave it behind. So I really hope this has helped you. I know these were things that I thought were really important and would have been helpful for me to know in the beginning stages of my awakening. And even now, this is stuff that you can take with you that will help you build and grow. So if it does help you and if it resonates with you, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe. I know I've been away for a little while. I had a lot of stuff I was juggling out and kind of doing the Dark Night of the Soul thing and just trying to really assess what I wanted to do with this channel. And I'll let you know that not only will I be giving you my experiences and advice and trying to share the knowledge that I've gained along the spiritual awakening and this journey, but I believe that I am also going to start doing some pick-a cards and some intuitive tarot readings. If that's something that you would like to see, please let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions of readings that you would like to hear on subjects like, I don't know, weekly predictions, or if you want zodiac predictions, or readings, I should say. I don't necessarily like to call them predictions because it's nothing set in stone. You have free will on everything. It's always your choice. So that being said, please like and subscribe if you resonate with this video and the topics that I would like to be sharing. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for stopping by. Namaste.